Welcome to SAT Prep Thursday. Today we're doing College Board SAT Practice Test number 6, Part 3. This is not a calculator approved section, so there will be no calculators used. Also, there's a file link in the description for this practice test. Salim wants to purchase tickets from a vendor to watch a tennis match. The vendor charges a one-time service fee for processing the purchase of the tickets. The equation T is equal to 15N plus 12 represents the total amount. T in dollars. Salim will pay for N tickets. What does 12 represent in the equation? Well, we have a one-time service fee. This must be paid each and every time, which leaves us with that plus 12. So it is the amount of the service fee in dollars. A gardener buys two kinds of fertilizer. Fertilizer A contains 60% filler material by weight, and fertilizer B contains 40% filler material by weight. Together, the fertilizers bought by the gardener contain a total of 240 pounds of filler material. Which equation models the relationship where X is the number of pounds of fertilizer A and Y is the number of pounds of fertilizer B? So we can simply, working back at 60% is filler weight for A, and A is X. So we're looking at a 0.6X has to be there. So A and C are both gone. Now 40% is 0.4, so we get B as the answer. What is the sum of the complex number 2 plus 3i and 4 plus 8i, where I is the square root of -1? So the sum, simply we're dealing with 2 plus 3i plus 4 plus 8i. So 2 plus 4 is 6. The only one with the 6 is C, so C is the answer. In the equation above, P and T are constants. Which of the following could be a value for P? Let's take a look at this right here. This is a perfect square, which means that what I get is a 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 3, and that would be equal to px plus t and ps minus t. Whew. Trouble writing right there. What we're really looking at is in the place of P is a 2. In the place of T, in both cases, is a 3. But 2 is what we're really after, so A is the answer. Which of the following is the graph of the equation y is equal to 2x minus 5? The key here is that we're dealing with 2x. That is a positive slope. Now, that means that it can't be this as being negative, so that goes away right away. The minus 5 means the y-intercept must be a negative number, so that goes away and that goes away, leaving D as the answer. If x is equal to 2 over 3y and y is equal to 18, what is the value of 2x minus 3? Let's start by substituting 18 into this original equation so that x is 2 over 3 times 18, which means 2 times 6, so x is 12. So 2 times 12 is 24, minus 3 is 21, A is the answer. A bricklayer uses the formula N is equal to 7LH to estimate the number of bricks N needed to build a wall that is L feet long and H feet high. Which of the following correctly represents L in terms of N and H? So I have this formula here. N is equal to 7LH. If I divide both sides by 7H, I would get N divided by 7H is equal to L. That is C. The table above shows some values of functions w and t for which x is wx plus t of x is equal to x. What I need to know is when is this plus this equal to this? That's all we're really asking here. So -1 plus a -3 is -4, not the answer. 3 minus 1 is 2. That looks like the answer right there, so B is our answer. If the square root of x plus the square root of 9 is the square root of 64, what is the value of x? even though we're dealing with square roots of things, let's get that x term by itself so that we get the square root of x is equal to the square root of 64 minus the square root of 9. This means I could square both sides, giving me x all by itself on the left and the square root of 64 minus the square root of 9 squared. Now the square root of 64 is 8 and the square root of 9 is 3, so 8 minus 3 is 5, but 5 squared is equal to 25. So C is the answer. Jamie is preparing for a bicycle race. His goal is to bicycle an average of at least 280 miles per week for 4 weeks. He bicycled 240 miles for the first week, 310 miles for the second week, and 320 miles for the third week. Which inequality can be used to represent the number of miles X Jamie would bicycle for the fourth week to meet that goal? So let's take a look down to these answers. See, here we have a divided by 3, but we know that there's 4 weeks. So when we're dealing with that divided by 3, we get to get rid of it. Now here we have where we would have added x to the left side, but instead it's being multiplied by the right side, so that is not my answer because we're talking about averages. Now, these are all divided by 4. I would need to have x divided by 4 in order to make this actually be an average. This leaves logically the last thing to be D, but what actually happens is if I added all 4 of those and divided by 4, that looks sloppy, so they multiplied both sides by 4, leaving nothing in a denominator, so D is the answer. The vertex of the parabola in the xy plane above is 0, C. Which of the following is true about the parabola with the equation y is equal to negative a times x minus b squared plus c? Let's start by knowing about the vertex. The vertex is located at B, C, which we can see here because this is in vertex form. So if it is not reading that the vertex is BC, then we don't have to worry about it. This negative a means we have a frowny face as the parabola, not what we're actually seeing here. So we can know that this opens downward, not upward like the picture shows, so our answer is B. Which of the following is equivalent to 4x squared plus 6x divided by 4x plus 2? So we're about to do some polynomial long division. 4x plus 2 dividing 4x squared plus 6x. So x times 4x will give us 4x squared. X times 2 will give us 2x. Subtracting this from the line above, those 4x squareds disappear. 6x minus 2x is 4x. Now, we all have x's here. We haven't gotten to eliminate anything. We don't have a number, but we can act as if it's currently a 0. So what times 4x would give us 4x? Well, there's plus 1. So 1 times 4x is 4x. 1 times 2 is 2. Change these signs. The 4x's eliminate. We wind up with a negative 2. Now this is negative 2 over 4x plus 2. Now we have our answer, which is D. In the equation above, t is a constant. If the equation has no real solutions, which of the following could be a value for t? So the key here is no real solutions. We're going to take all of this, put it on the same side of the equal sign, giving us 2x squared minus 4x minus t equals 0. Let's scratch that and try another way. Let's say if I factor out a 2x from both of these, that would give me 2x times x minus 2 is equal to t. And I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere yet. Let's go ahead and back out of that. Let's look at discriminants, where b squared minus 4ac must be less than 0 if we're talking about no real solution. We know in this original equation that a is 2, b is negative 4, and c is negative t. So this would give me negative 4 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative t is less than 0. That's a positive 16 minus 8 times negative t, so plus 8t is less than 0, or 8t is less than a negative 16, meaning t must be less than negative 2. A number less than -2. Well, the only case there is C, and it's okay to have tried a couple routes and find that they're not getting you where you want to go. A laundry service is buying detergent and fabric softener from its supplier. The supplier will deliver no more than 300 pounds in a shipment. Each container of detergent weighs 7.35 pounds, and each container of fabric softener weighs 6.2 pounds. The service wants to buy at least twice as many containers of detergent as containers of fabric softener. Let D represent the number of containers of detergent, and let S represent the number of containers of fabric softener. Where D and S are non-negative integers, which of the following system of inequalities best represents the situation? So we can start with this no more than, which is less than or equal to 300. Now, 7.3 pounds of detergent would be 7.35 D. So it has to contain a 7.35 D, which is not what is in C or D, so they get to be eliminated. The service wants to buy at least twice as many containers of detergent as fabric softener. So they want the detergent to be greater than or equal to, it's at least twice the fabric softener, which leaves us with A is the answer. Which of the following is equivalent to A plus B over 2 squared? So this means I'm multiplying A plus B over 2 by itself. So A times A would give me an A squared, which all of them have. Let's look at the last thing. B over 2 times B over 2 would give me a B squared over 4 as my last term. So this becomes the only option unless the middle actually goes away. A times B over 2 would be AB over 2, but then I would multiply that by 2, making the 2 denominator go away. So yes, D is in fact my answer. If A to the B over 4 power is equal to 16 for positive integers A and B, what is the possible value of B? So we're looking at possible values of B, and I'm attacking the 16 to say 16 is equal to 2 to the 4th power. That means it is also equal to 4 squared. It's equal to 16 to the 1st power, 16 squared to the 1/2 power, 16 to the 4th power to the 1/4 power. Now I'm looking at all of this, and this tells me when I'm looking for a B over 4, B can be equal to 4, 2, 1, 1/2, 1/4. So B is equal to 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. What value of T is the solution to this equation above? So all I'm going to do is say T is equal to 5 over 2 times the inverse of 2 over 3, which is 3 over 2. 5 times 3 is 15, 2 times 2 is 4, so I get 15 over 4. In the figure above, BD is parallel to AE. What is the length of CE? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is give myself the little marker that these are parallel. This means that I know that I have similar triangles because they share angles. So 8 over AC would be equal to 6 over 18. This means that 8 times 18 over 6 would be equal to AC, which is 24. Now, if all of AC is 24, but this part of it is 8, then 24 minus 8 would be equal to 16. It's interesting to notice that 24 is the same thing as 4 times 6, and that 18 is the same thing as 3 times 6. So this looks like a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So 5 times 6 would give me 30 as the length of CE.